Hello, this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts. Today with another fun fold card. I have just seen this on Sam Calcott's YouTube channel on the Mixed Up Crafters, not the Made to Surprise. And yeah, I thought this looks really nice and I like to recreate this, but I've got slightly different measurements because I don't like to work with big cards because then I have to make my own envelopes. And I also think I changed it a little bit to the better because I don't need to use my trimming function here on my scoreboard. I will just use my scissors to cut it, which I think makes it easier for many of you. So I have cut my own card base. This is a 5x7 card, so I've got it 10 inches wide. If you have got a shopboard card that is that size, that's fine. This is a fairly heavyweight cardstock. The packaging didn't tell me, but anything above 220 I think would be fine. And this one here, I used the full A4 sheet, half that, and then cut off the excess here. Sometimes I find I get a better result. It's a bit wasteful. I've got some smaller pieces here, but if I don't use them, never mind, they just get recycled. So, and then we need to score this. Is a little bit tricky because you don't score from the top all the way through. So I had to find my 1 inch mark here and my 6 inch mark. I've got this on this side. It's not ideal. You could put down a ruler on this side if that makes it easier for you, but you might have a trimming board where this is actually closer. So, and I found the groove here for 1 inch, and I put my tool on there without pressing it down, and then I pulled it down here, and where I could see the 1 inch mark there, I pressed it down a little bit harder and went all the way down to where the 6 inch mark is, so I can see that on the side here. So, and I'm doing the same on the other side, but well, you could do it at 9 inches, but I've got the problem, I have to then really check where is the 1 inch mark, so I will actually move it over and just do it over here again. So the 1 inch mark here, lightly pull it down so I don't lose the groove there, then press down. Oops, and there I've slipped. Never mind, it will be covered. See, that's the problem with a heavier weight cardstock. There's my cat meowing and crying. I think he's just tired. I might have to switch the camera off in a moment. Oh, he's got zoomies. You might not hear that. So I had to put a bit of pressure on there, but it doesn't matter. If I go in from the back, I can rub that out a little bit. And also, one part will be the back of the card and one part will be covered with pattern paper. Same here where I slipped a little bit. Just go in from the back and just rub it out a little bit. So now I need to turn it this way around, and again at 1 inch, and I can see I haven't pulled it far enough. I need to connect it from this line now to the bottom line. I will remedy this in a moment. So going down there 1 inch, now applying pressure, and I'm going all the way down to that score line at the bottom. Going up again actually, just to reinforce that line. And I'm doing the same again on this side here, finding the 1 inch line, then starting to press it down, going all the way down here to that line. So you should end up with a rectangle, and I'm just reinforcing this one here until I get to that point. So let me just sort out my cat and then I'll be back. Apologies for that interruption. If you've got a cat, you know what it's like. They want to go out and then they don't want to go out. So never mind. I had some exercise going downstairs and opening the doors. So now we need to score within this rectangle, and we do that at every inch. So again, putting it in here at 2 inches, but only lightly move it over, and then start pressing down once I'm on this score line, and I'm only scoring down to the score line here. Then at 3 inches, and at 4 inches. So I've already done the 5 inches because that's obviously the score line that goes all the way through, and I'm actually turning it around again. You could do a 6, 7, 8, 9, but I find it easier if I do it this way around. So 2 again, 3 and 4. Might have been a bit heavy-handed there again, but as I said to you, wipe it out from the back and just cover it with pattern cardstock. So what Sam Calcott did then, she got her trimming function out, and she trimmed or put a cut line from here to here. But we're folding this in half anyway, so I think I'll just do this with my scissors now. So all we need to do is cut along the score line here up to that 1 inch point. Just holding in place so it doesn't shift in the back. Might have gone a little bit over there, but it doesn't matter. I would have the same, I think, if I used the trimming function, because I struggle with it. I don't think it's very easy. This one might have been better to do it from the other side, just because this one is a bit more flexible on that side of the blades. But definitely hold it in place there. So, and then we've already got this function here, so that's fine. If you had to cut in a little bit more afterwards, you know, for the lines, you could do that with some fine scissors once it's opened up, like I have here now. You can just go in and make sure I've cut all the way to the score line there. That one's fine. I think I need just a millimetre there. That's it. So I'm going to put this scoreboard away now. Makes it easier. So, and now we need to fold all these lines here. The first one is a valley, then we've got mountain, valley, and so you just start pinching this here. Use your bone folder. Don't worry about bending it on the outside. Doesn't matter at the moment. The problem is if you've got a heavyweight cardstock like I have, it's less easy to fold properly. Which is an understatement. It's actually quite tricky. Might have to score these again. Yeah, definitely a lighter cardstock would probably be easier there. So this one's a mountain again, and I'm quickly doing this off camera now. Oops, even catapulted itself off my desk now. So I will take my time with this. I don't want to rush it. So just fold them and burnish them all the way through, and then I'll show you how we decorate the card. So I have folded my card here. It's a bit weakened here from where I bent it, so I think I will actually put a mat on both sides. I think that would be nicer, but if you had a slightly thinner cardstock, the folding would be easier, but then again you might have these weaknesses in the cardstock as well, so I think it's fine as it is. So for the mat, I really like the look of the Made to Surprise advent calendar that is coming out soon. It was available to pre-order. And what it is, it had lots of, well, it looks like a gingerbread house, lots of gingerbread figures, and it's a combination with a light pink, and I really like the look of that. I had a look in my stash. I've got some pink cardstock here, but I know this is really cheap quality. I got that for 50p at the works a few years ago. And yes, I could heat emboss in white on it. I could create some white die cuts like stars, or what's it called, snowflakes. But I want this to be a quick card. So I just went in my stash and had a look for some pink pattern cardstock, and I have got this pad here. It's called Oh So Sweet. It's from first edition paper, and it's got lots of cakes and biscuits on it. I also like this one. Here's just a pattern, but I found this Buttonberg and I thought this is really nice. I like that. It's not 100% Christmassy, but as I said, I like the combination. Because what I have to decorate is here, this is from last year, I believe. These are gift tags. They were from Home Bargains. They worked out like 90p a pack, I think. And I made a card with these before, but this year I want to delve into my stash. This feels very unopened. I might have bought 2 packs, I don't know, because they were so cheap. And I think these are really cute, so I would like to combine them with this card. So this card basically, or the mat I should say, is half an inch smaller than the actual card. So this is 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. So, and I could measure this with my ruler, but I recently started doing that after seeing Marta from A Drop of Sunshine do that. I'm just now using my pencil to mark where I need to cut. So if I lay this on the top, let me just zoom in. Yeah, so I'm evenly laying it down. It's a bit tricky actually. I might be better off flattening this for the time being. I could do that. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So I'm laying this on here to have an equal, oops, can't see me now, to have an equal edge around here. And then I can now mark, and I'm zooming in again for that, I can mark now the same edge on this side next to that cut line, and this is, I know where I want to cut, and I'm doing the same on the other side, and then turning this round, and now I need a cut line. If I just pull this down here now, need a cut line where this cut line ends, just a little bit in, so I know where my mat layer needs to stop. Yeah, and I need the same on the other side, but I think I can do this with my ruler in a moment. So I'm basically on the back of this, I'm actually putting this on my grid, and I know I'm straight. Oh, so I'm out of focus again because I'm zoomed in so much. Apologies for that. So putting this onto my grid mat, I've got my marker here, and I'm putting this straight. So I'm just lightly putting a pencil mark here, doing the same on the other side. You could now measure this and do it on the other side, but as I said, I want to do this quickly. So just making sure this is straight. You can also use one of these fancy triangles. I've got mine somewhere, but it doesn't have to be 100%. So very lightly pencil mark, and then I'm now putting a pencil mark on this level here, again aligning it on my grid so I can't go wrong there. Making sure my ruler is straight, and then I don't need to go from there, I can just go there. So I hope the camera picks that up. So now I know I need to cut this out. This looks actually slimmer now. Don't know what I did wrong there, but if you find that, just adjust it. So I could measure it here now. This is actually 2 centimeters, should be 1 3/4. I'm always leaving these things in if you don't know me yet, because I do these things. So sorry, again I went off camera there. So put a new marker there. I might have measured it wrong. So it should be fine now. So I'm just going to start with cutting with my scissors, not getting the trimmer out. I will actually zoom out now before I forget completely about this. So I'm just cutting to the point there and then just cutting across. There we go. So I've got my mat ready there, and that can go on here now. If I haven't measured wrong, I have measured wrong. Why? I think in my head, did I? I'll just have a look. This should have been a bit wider. Yeah, because what I did not take into account is I need to go in a little bit more. So that's, yeah, I didn't do it on one side. Sorry about that. So I think once I've cut it properly, so I'm just cutting a little bit further in here, and I'm cutting on the line I had on the other side, so the other side was correct. So maybe if you find this funny, you do want to measure it properly after all. I can have a look at my video later what I did wrong there. Yeah, that looks better now, because you want an even edgy on either side. So these bits here now I can use to decorate the inside here. Sam Calcott, she created some mountains, some snowy mountains. She said, I want to keep mine simple, so I will have to cut this remaining piece a little bit slimmer, and then I will cut it into 3/4 strips. I can do that on my guillotine now because I can cut all the way through, and I will quickly do this off camera. So these strips are 3/4 wide and 4 3/4, sorry, wide and 3/4 in width. This last one might actually be a bit wonky because that was the last bit. So, and they get glued just on these, I call them waves here, on the steps here that are facing the front, and I will also glue this down here quickly with my magic glue. I quickly do this off camera again. So my mats are all down. I'm really pleased with this. With these here, I made sure I put them in the order as I've cut them, so you've got this sort of continuous look on the pattern, but that's just me, the way I like to do it. And it is very springy. I do suggest you use maybe a lighter weight cardstock. I'm even contemplating whether this is a 280 or a 300 one. I'll have to check my purchases and see if it says in there. So for my gingerbread man here, they've already got one hole at the bottom, at the top, but unfortunately I do not have a hole punch that is that size. I've been looking at one. I might purchase one that I've seen some Calcott use, but I will just have to use my ordinary hole punch. And because I don't want two holes that are different size, I will recut this. So I will just feed this through. See here on the back where this hole is, I might actually go a little bit higher there because I don't want to punch through the berries. And then I've already marked here on the back where I want the other hole to be, making sure I'm not too close to the edge. and then I've got 2 holes in there. It's not perfect, but it'll do. So I quickly do this with these as well, and then I will show you how I attach them to the top of the card. My original plan was to use this twine, or whatever you want to call it, that came with the tags, but because the holes are so big now, I think this would look a little bit awkward, but it's doable. But I've got tons of ribbon in my stash from my wedding last year, and this is actually a light pink. It almost looks white here, so I thought I'd just use that, and that would look really nice. But rather than sticking this on here, and also I would like to use red tape, and I don't want this to dissolve and then make these 2 parts, the back and front, stick together. I created these 2 little tabs. So I've put some red tape in here. This is just some cut-offs from that cardstock. Just give you the measurements. That's just under 1 inch, and I don't know, just under a half wide. Basically all you need is a little piece that you fold it in half, red tape on one side, and I can just place this in here, and then I can actually need another piece of red tape on there. I didn't think about that. And then I can close it shut, and then I can glue paper on paper, and I think this would be better. So just need to measure this on this side. So I want to go in a little bit. I will actually wait until I fit these through, just to make sure I'm not losing any length by going back and forth. So coming in from the front, going around the back of the head, and also this ribbon has got shiny sides, so the shiny side will have to be on the front, and I think I can squeeze 3 of them in here. I'm just measuring, and I didn't take that into account, so I will actually have to come round the back to stick it down rather than going in on this side if I don't want them too close. I could try and shove them in a little bit like here, and then I could have this hanging in the back, but I don't like the look. I'd rather go round the back there. So as I said before, I will put another piece of red tape on that end, so I could actually have one, could have had one that was the whole width. So I've got a bit of tape sticking out. I want to cut that off. So, and I think what I will do is I will glue this down first on the one side, and then I will measure it on the other side rather than having it too short afterwards. And as I said before, the little piece that's disappeared from my table now somewhere, oh there it is. So I will do the same on the other side, and then just adhere it, I think with my Cosmic Shimmer quick grab glue, because that will stick down more instantly. So again, I'll do this off camera, and I'll have a think whether I've got a sentiment I can stick down quickly. If not, I might actually leave it plain and do that at a later date. So here's my finished card. I added a little die cut sentiment here, and I used the technique to glue it down. I just put some glue on the back of my hand and dabbed it in there, and that works quite nicely. It's a sort of cream coloured glitter card, and it had the perfect height here for that edge there. Yeah, and I think this is really cute. It pops up quite a bit. I know I will hand deliver this card, and I've got an idea already where this could go to, because I think this would be perfect for a family of 3, or maybe even a family with 3 children. I'm contemplating whether I want to customize the buttons here just to make them look a little bit different by basically putting other circles on different colours, but I don't know yet. Otherwise I think this will fine. Oh, and by the way, I did find out I did have another pack of those as well, so I've got tons of these to work with. I also bought last year, I also bought the penguins and the Santas. I don't know if they do them this year. I think I stayed away from that section this year because it's too tempting. But yeah, I think this is really nice, really cute, really different, and really easy to make. I think if you got, well, all you need is cardstock, scissors, some nice pattern cardstock, but obviously you can go the full hog, create your own pattern cardstock, create your own toppers that you cut or die cut to hang up. But I think, yeah, this is the quick version. If you know me, you know I like shortcuts. Yeah, and if you like this card, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, you might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And I'll see you soon with another video.